everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited to share with you today's amazing tutorial. If you are new to my channel and interested in learning about 3D and gold VFX, I post awesome tutorials. Also, I give away free premium 3D assets. In today's tutorial, we are going to dive into the amazing product VFX tutorial. We will be covering everything you need to know how to make professional looking VFX videos, properly aligning the CG elements to the videos, matching the scene lighting with the actual footage, smooth animation, and the most fun and cool part, particle simulation. Don't forget to hit the like button if you find the video helpful and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. Also, feel free to leave any questions or comments down below because I love hearing from you guys. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. Okay guys, so let's start our today's tutorial by importing our video footage into the After Effects. So double click here, select the video. By selecting video, make sure to tick that option create composition, so it will create the composition automatically. Now as you can see, our composition is created. Now add the effect tracker, 3D camera tracker. Double click here to add it to the video. Go into the advanced and take that option detailed analysis, so it will track the video with detailed. Wait for the completion of tracking. So our tracking is completed. Now just make a solid, so just drone and select this tracking points like the ground ones and double click here or right click here, create solid and camera, so it will create the solid and a camera. So as you can see, our plan is nicely tracked. Now we will export the track data into the Blender. So for that I will use the Blender add-on A to blend. I have opened the Blender. Now I will import the After Effects track data into the Blender. So as you can see, I am using the Blender add-on A to blend. You can simply download it. It is completely free. So now I will open the After Effects. So from that I will select that track solid. Go into transform and I will select this first for properties, copy, open the Blender and here create plane, and it will create that track plane in our Blender scene. So again open the After Effects. Now we will create the camera. So just select these two properties, position and rotation, copy, Blender, then create a camera. So if we check the timeline, and you can see it has tracked keyframes of our camera, and here if I play you can see it is tracked. So let's set up our camera and select the camera and double click on here. We need the focal length, copy, Blender, camera, paste that focal length. So we add the background image, means the video, open clip, select that video footage and opacity full to the 1, and if we play and check, you can see we have successfully imported our data into the Blender. So we have completed our first phase. Now I will make a new viewport. Let me turn on my screencast keys, and I will use this viewport for on the view purpose cleanly. And if we just turn off everything like this, just we will have checked there extra things. For this tutorial I am using these free models. I will simply put the link in the description. You can easily download, but here is my model. I have just changed it, textured it. You can see that the previous one is flat and this is colorful like the orange, so I have just changed it for my liking. You can use that model from the sketchbook directly, or you can use my model. I will put this model also in the description. You can easily download it. So now I will simply copy this model, copy and paste into over this scene. Okay, so if we just turn on the snapping phase and if we grab it here, turn off and paste it here, this, I think this is enough. Let me turn on the viewport. Okay, like this. So if we just turn on the rendering viewport, let me go into the film and make it transparent so you can see, and let's create the shadow catcher. So it will show only the shadows. Shadow catcher, go into the shader, world, HRI. Here is my by default setup HRI. I will delete this and add a new HRI. So open. I will put the my used HRI link in description. You can easily download it. So check in the color, Control T for the. I will make the rotation 6.5 and make it around 0.8. I will create a sunlight for the light shadows like sun. Go into the properties. You can simply put the values -33, -26, and -102. Okay, so hit the intensity 7.8, and you can see now how this is good lighting matching with our scene. And if we move it a little bit, something like this, okay. So here it is. So our lighting is also completed. Now I will just set up that shadow catcher. I'll just create that a little bit on the x-axis, create the scale like this for the shadows, and on the y a little bit, and on the z. Let's do it on the all sides, but we will have to keep in mind that where is actual scene footage shadows going in this direction. So that's why I'm setting the plane bigger in the x-axis. So like this. Now everything is set up. Now I will just simply create a simple animation. Let me turn on the timeline. So here is our timeline. So now I will go into the around 20 frames. I will put a single frame like this, and on the first I will use here insert single keyframe, so it will come like this. Now let's do this here, copy paste, and I will move this like this and insert simply single keyframe, so like this. So it will go like this, and a bump, and this will come back to that position. So like this, just increase this to make it smoother. Okay, now just make sure to pleasure mode bezier, easing mode automatic, and if we go into the graph editor and check that position, this, and if we move this to make it more smoother, I think this is looking good now. So let's go back into the timeline like this. So here is our animation, and now I will open that gap for our particles. So as you can see, our animation is completing here into this, and let's turn on the gap from here, this position, add a keyframe on x-axis, insert single keyframe, and open it around 50, insert single keyframe. If you want to move this to the a little bit earlier like this, okay. So I will go to the graph editor and move all these things a little bit to the ground, so cap should not touch the ground. Okay, like this. Okay, back on the timeline. By the way, I'm using only the Control plus Tab shortcut to go into the graph editor and back to the timeline. So animation is completed. Now we will add the particles. Okay, so for the particles, I'm going to create a new scene. So we will make sure that over this scene is not disturbed. So I will create a first circle with the 32 vertices like this, snap it, and I will go into the edit mode, get to extrude and scale this, and I will just simply scale it down a little bit like this and press F for the fill. Okay, so and for the leaf I will provide you the free model which I am using. For the leaf model I will put that model also in the description. You can simply download it like this. Where is the leaf model? Okay, and if I turn on that viewport, shading viewport, so you can see here is this simple model which is just using an alpha texture for the optimization. So if you use a leaf with the mesh, so it will slow your system. So make sure to always look for the best optimization of your scene. So that's why I'm using this simple model with an alpha texture. Okay, so for the particles, go into the tab particles, this, and for the particles, I'm going to put that whole values again. I will simply share the screenshot of my particle settings, so you just have to follow the same values into your particle to want the same results like mine. So if I bring my particles, and you can see the settings, rotation, render, object, scale, everything. Okay, so if I play this, and you can see you will simply have this particles like this. For this I will also using the wind, so I will simply, if I create a new plane like this to show you a little bit what we will be doing in our final scene like this. So if we add a collision to the plane, so this particle will interact with our plane and move back to the upward like this. Okay, so if we just copy this particles, if we just copy these particles and back into our main scene, this, and we just go into the camera viewport, make it here, and we just paste it here, just make it, move it here far from the camera so it will not render or seen up in the scene like that leaf one which we don't need now. So I will simply simply move it to the cap position. Let me just go into the first frame and I will move it here, this, and for the time being if we just turn off that cap from here and just place it around this cap surface like this. Okay, now just shift click and parent it object and keep transform, and if we now move that, this will move with the bottle, so like this. Okay, so let's just set up our scene, turn on that button, this. So our bottle is opening cap is around 34, so select the particles settings and start position is around 35, so it will not now play with the starting 30 from it will grab the grazing this. Okay, like this. For the extra satisfying look of that over animation, I will just smooth it more like this. It is going up and down continuously, so I will move it here, insert a single keyframe, move it here, insert single keyframe, so it will go down up like this. I will simply now copy these keyframes and paste it with the same distance like this, and one here like this. So if we play the animations, Things you can see how it is. Now I will just simply just rotate it on the Y so it will look more good, and move it on x-axis like this. So if we play this, you can see how this is looking good, just like the light. And want to make it more smoother, these shadows. Before that it was very harsh. You can see how hard shadows, and I just smooth it by doing this, and this will look now more good like this. Okay, so if we add a surface to the force field, wind, and if we go into the properties, 6, this, you can change this direction also, like move it left, and you can see it's changing the direction with the wind. We just move it to the back. By the way, I'm changing its wind direction. You can see now. If we just scale down that leaf scales also, not very, just a little bit, 5. And if I just change that leaf roughness also like this. Okay guys, so our scene is completed. Now we'll export it as a PNG sequence, and we will import that into the After Effects. So our final scene composition. Here is my render settings, 9020 by 1080, and make sure to match the frame rate with our actual video footage. For that, select your video footage, and you just have to click Alt plus Enter to open this property panel. So go into details, and here you can see the frame rate 29.97 frames per second. So I will match this 29.97. so okay, from here you have to select the destination, PNG, RGB alpha, compression 0. I will render it around 500 per samples. You can use whatever, it depends on your system. Now I will just simply go into the render and render animation, and it will start the animation. So I will catch you after the completion of render into the After Effects. Okay guys, so we are in the After Effects. Let's import our PNG sequence. Double click here. Make sure to select the first frame like 0, 1, and untick that option, create composition, because we don't need any composition. Okay, so now just close this. I will simply delete this because I just don't need any tracking data now. So simply I will just grab it here, the timeline. Okay, so as you know, I have just rendered almost 0.250 frames in Blender. So I will trim my timeline to the 250 frames. Okay, Control Shift X, and it will trim it to the 250 frames like this. And you can see how good it is looking. And now let's do some final color adjustments, color grading, so it will look more good. So I will select the first video, then I will add the geometry color, creative, basic correction, and I will just increase a little bit exposure, 0.5. okay, and I will increase the vibrance around 60, and on the contrast I will do it -10. okay, and I will just around 60. okay, now I will select our image sequence and creative, basic correction. I will make it more bright like 0.7. okay, and now I will contrast it. okay, and the vibrance is around 50, and I will make it around 10. Now you can see how amazing this is looking. So if you like it, please consider to subscribe my channel and support me, so I will create more amazing tutorials for you. Now there is just one problem. We have not added any object to just cut out these shadows, because I just don't want to spend more time on it. I will simply just share a little trick with you, so you don't have to spend more time on this thing. So I will simply select the image sequence and I will select the pen tool. Now I will simply just make a selection around the shadows like this, and go into the masking effect, make it inverted, so it will invert the selection. Now I will increase the feather like this to make it more smooth, like this, and I will simply just put all the keyframes. Okay, so now I will just press A for the selection tool, this, and sorry, you have to select that frame like this. Okay, now you just have to keep moving like this, because we are just tracking the selection like this. Just keep it aligned with the building edge. Yes. Okay guys, so here are the final results. Hope you liked the video, have learned something new, found this video helpful. Please make sure to subscribe my channel, hit the like button. This will support me and motivate me to create more amazing content like this in the future for you guys. So I will see you in the next tutorial. Take care.